Namaskar, I am MP Mishra, instructor of this course CIT-001. As you know, this course is part of CIT program, a certificate program offered by School of Computer and Information Sciences, IGNOU. I welcome you in this particular course and I wish you all the best for pursuing this course and doing this course successfully. In this session, I will be discussing about the objective of this course, as well as I will discuss about that how you should pursue this particular course and what kind of study material, learning content and other support you will get throughout this particular course. So, if I talk about the objective of this course, so this course is having a very broad objective in a sense that it is a kind of umbrella course which provide so many components and aspects associated with working of basic of computer that we face in our day-to-day life. For example, this course provide you opportunity to know basic technological component and concepts of computer systems, as well as this course provide you information about what is software, what are different types of softwares, how a computer system works, what kind of software is used for what purposes, and similarly you will be getting exposure to different kind of input and output devices and data storage component in a computer system. Also, this course talks about the understanding of working of personal computer which we see. There are several places in our life where we see that computer is being used extensively and almost all the work of our life is being touched by the use of computer and providing us facility to do our job easily. So, how actually a computer works, that also we will be learning in this particular course. And one of the important aspect of learning computer science is that how actually different kind of problems are solved. So, basic understanding of problem solving is also introduced in this course, and it is taught in this particular course that how if you are having a problem you can represent in the form of a diagram, that is flow chart. So, you will be learning making a flow chart in this course, and you will be learning also the basics of C programming and writing very simple and initial stage C program during this particular course. And subsequently, you will be introduced about the communication and the networking aspects. As you know, we are living in a networked environment and computer science is providing us opportunity to look world as a global village. So, in that context, the networking is very important. So, how a computer connect to another computer, what are different kind of devices which are used for connecting to other computer device, what are the different kind of transmission media used, all these things will be taught in this particular course. And towards end of this course, you will be exposed to concepts of security, and that security aspects talks about that if a person is using a computer or sharing some kind of information, then how actually that person should be aware about different security aspect, whether communication is secure or not, whether there is some kind of threat on data being shared, or if you are using a network, then how you should be protecting yourself, and at the same time whether a authorized or authenticated person is using the specific data or not. Those all things will be taught in this course, and that particular will make you aware about different security related issues in computer and information technology. Similarly, information security aspect is also very important because we are living in a world where we are trying to connect to each other, we are using different kind of networks, social media and different kind of application software through which we are extensively sharing our data and we are exchanging the information with each other. So, how we should be careful in terms of sharing the information, what are the different aspects associated with information security in this process, that we will be trying to learn. And next, if we talk about that the duration of this particular course, as you know, this course is being offered to you for a duration of 12 weeks. So, in this 12 week, you will be covering the different aspect as I mentioned in this particular session, and this whole aspect is credited, and a credit means that what kind of weightage this particular course is having. For example, after completing this course, if you are going somewhere and showing your certificate that you have done this course, so the person who will be seeing your certificate might ask you that what was the coverage of this course, what was the workload that you gone through in this particular course, and how actually you pursued this course for some specified duration. And in the explanation of that, the term credit is used, and credit basically depict or explain about the workload you have been assigned or you have been performing for completion of a specific course. So, this CIT-001 course is a 4 credit, and in IGNOU's term, 1 credit equal to 30 hour of study. So, the total course study hour goes to 120. So, this 120 hour workload is expected from you in this particular course, and this 124 hour include so many aspects or different aspects associated with this course. For example, if you are reading the given content material, then you will be devoting some time on that. If you are watching different videos, you will be devoting some time on that. Similarly, if you are having some quizzes associated with different sessions, that also we will be considering in the credit load. So, if you are devoting time on that, that particular will be included. And if you are exploring some more additional information to gain more knowledge in this particular topic, or going through the reference material provided to you, or otherwise also, so that also include in your workload of learning of this particular course. So, total 124 hour you have to do, and most importantly, the kind of assessment and evaluation mechanism through which you are going, in that also you are devoting a lot of time. So, that also will be included in this total workload or total study hour. So, it is expected that on average you have to spend 20 hour of study for completion of this particular course. So, be prepared for that, make your plan accordingly, and try to devote that much time to this particular course, so that you can do this course smoothly, as well as you will be getting a lot of opportunity to interact with your peer learners and to me also as a course instructor. So, that we will discuss that how actually we have opportunity to have interaction in this particular course or during pursuing of this particular course. Now, very quickly let me explain you about how we will proceed towards this particular course, or what is our study plan for the whole course duration, that is 12 weeks. So, this course, as I mentioned, is part of the CIT program, and this is the course which is having a code in the CIT program, that is CIT-001. So, this course is basically in terms of IGNOU terminology of course content or course material is having 4 blocks. One block you can visualize like a booklet. That particular booklet will be having certain chapters, and that chapters in terms of IGNOU terminology we say units. So, total units in a booklet may be 3 to 5. So, in the first block we are having total 5 unit, and that 5 unit you can visualize as a 5 chapter. So, total 5 chapters are there, and for each chapter 1 week is allocated to you. So, during 1 week you have to study 1 chapter which is already available to you on the platform which you are accessing right now. So, you can see that particular week 1 content, and in that you will be finding that unit is uploaded for week 1. Similarly, for all the 12 weeks units are uploaded, and in the last week, that is the 12th week, you are having 2 units. To accommodate certain requirements, in the last week we are having 2 units, and in the last week you are expected to work little harder to complete that particular assigned units and associated video lectures. So, for that you keep on preparing from the beginning, and in the last you give little more time to complete that particular allocated section. So, in week 1 we will be discussing about introduction to personal computer. So, in this particular week you will be having 3 videos based on this particular topic. In those 3 videos, the content discussed will be what actually a personal computer is, how a personal computer works, what is the basic architecture of personal computer, what is the different aspect associated with processing of that. Similarly, in second week you will be learning about different storage devices and the organization of storage memories or different kind of storage memory, memory hierarchy, and in third week you will be taught about different input and output devices, and we will try to explain you that what should be the configuration of a personal computer if you are going in market and you are looking for purchase of a personal computer, then what are the different options you may try. Similarly, in the week 4 we will be discussing about the basics of software and different kind of softwares and some application softwares which we generally use in our day-to-day life. And in week 5 we will be introducing you the concept of database management system. In block 2 we will be discussing about introduction of algorithm and flowchart, that will be in week 6, and in 7th week you will be taught about the basics of problem solving using C programming language, and there you will learn how to write simple C program. And in block 3 you will be taught about the fundamentals of data communication and networking, and you will be taught about introduction to different communication devices in week 9, and in week 10 we will be discussing about computer networks and different type of computer networks or category of different types of computer networks and how we can categorize those different networks on the basis of certain parameter. Then block 4 is discussing about information security. As I mentioned, in block 4 we are having 2 weeks. In week 11 we will be discussing about information security concerns, and in 12th week we will be discussing about software vulnerabilities and network security and authentication. So, this is overall roadmap for the going about this particular course, and in all the weeks you will be having study material in the forms of units. Those units you have to study, and then you have to see the video lectures. And study material you will be finding, as I mentioned, in the form of units, and then some reference links available in the IGNOU course, some other reference materials, maybe some other video lecture, audio lecture, those all things will be provided to you. And after completion of every week you will be provided a quiz. That particular quiz will be covering the different content covered in the video as well as the content covered in the unit. So, you have to read your unit very carefully. At the same time you have to watch all the videos with dedication and sincerity, and then you have to attempt the quiz. And quiz will provide you a kind of judgment or a kind of confidence building. Once you will go through the quiz, you will learn that how actually you have performed, and on the basis of that, if needed, you can revisit the specific section of the content and you can try to learn more on which you are having some kind of difficulty or on which you want to gain some more confidence. And one of the most important of any teaching learning process is that how actually assessment and evaluation process will be taken care of. and that is very important, because if you are learning, it is the duty of the learner to demonstrate that the learner has gained some kind of knowledge during the learning process, and that is evaluated on the basis of certain assessment mechanism. So, in this course mainly two regular assessment mechanism will be there. One is, as I mentioned, quizzes. After every week you will be having one quiz. That particular quiz will be covering the aspects which has been covered in that particular week, and similarly around 10th week you will be provided a assignment, and that assignment you must have to complete and submit, and that particular will be part of your assessment and evaluation, and whatever score you will get in your assignment, that will be provided, or that will be part of your grade sheet. So, it will be a kind of continuous assessment process, and that assignment is compulsory and that you must have to perform, and once you complete your course up to 10th week, then we will be providing that particular assignment, and in remaining 2 weeks you have to complete your course, and then you have to submit the assignment in between. So, that is the basic way, or that is the basic plan of continuous assessment and learning, and obviously after completion of the course you will be getting opportunity to appear in the term end examination, and rules and regulation for that particular term end examination will be as per the rules of the Swayam platform which is being used for offering this particular course. More about that particular may be shared with you in due course of time or towards the end of that particular course. So, in this way assessment and evaluation you have to take care, and that particular will be helping you to get your certificate. Once again I mention here that this particular CIT-1 course is part of CIT program, that is a certificate program of IGNOU. So, there are some other courses also. If you are completing all those courses and you are fulfilling all the requirement for getting the certificate, so you can explore possibility of getting the certificate from IGNOU for the completion of CIT program as per the specific rules and regulation. For that you have to explore different rules and regulation and different mechanism. The courses which are part of the CIT program, those you have to complete, then you will be entitled to get the CIT completion certificate. And as we know, teaching learning process is not just about that you are having some kind of learning material or some video and just you are watching that, seeing that, and in addition to that if you are performing some quizzes or attempting some quizzes, that is over. Learning is basically a kind of mechanism or process which provide us opportunity to have interaction with peer group, to have interaction with experts, and to have interaction with some additional resources. So, it is very important for us to be vigilant, to be alert that what kind of announcements are coming through discussion forum, what kind of questions you are asking, or what kind of questions are being asked from the administration of the course or the instructor of the course. So, you see those things, you try to contribute in that particular, you try to engage in that. So, discussion forum here provide us opportunity to have interaction with each other, to share some kind of information with each other, so that we can pursue this course smoothly, so that our learning process goes smoothly and we gain out of it or we get benefit of this particular whole process. So, in discussion forum as a course instructor, time to time I also will be trying to interact with you. At the same time you can post your questions if you are having some kind of question to post related to this particular course, and if your question is specific to any topic which is not covered so far, so please wait for that particular topic to be covered, and after that you post your question so that it can be beneficial to all and we can gain out of it during this learning process. You are encouraged to ask questions related to your topic of this particular course. So, I motivate you, I encourage you, at the same time I request you to go through your content, you try to find out the gap and the kind of problem you are facing, and you post those things in the form of questions, and it will be tried to answer your question as soon as possible. As you know, we all are engaging in this learning process through Swayam platform. So, during pursuing this course, you are committed to follow the rules and regulations of this particular platform. So, I request you to try to maintain the decorum of this learning process and online student. In this process also, we will learn a lot. We will learn a lot of in terms of discipline, in terms of learning philosophy, in terms of learning plan, and in terms of how actually we can share our learning with the peer group. Those all things we can do, and we can enjoy this whole learning process. And before I conclude this particular session, let me tell you one more thing, that is how actually you should plan for your study during this particular course, because until unless we are having a better plan, we cannot do justice with the course and we cannot gain maximum out of this course. So, if our objective is to learn more from this particular course, so the very first thing should be that we should try to be regular. So, be regular in this particular course and try to make a strict schedule and follow that particular schedule and learn, and you try to engage by putting your question in the discussion forum or in the form of question. You try to answer some questions which are posted there. You try to interact with the peer group. You try to share your experiences. It will definitely motivate us as a team or as a group in this particular course. And read the unit before you are watching the video. These videos are based on mainly the unit content which are provided to you. So, once you are going through the unit, you will be aware about what are the basic content which you are learning, and if you are having some doubt, that also you can note down and you watch the video, and during video if your doubt is clear, it is all right, otherwise you can put that particular doubt as a question. And attempt the quiz only after you have completed the unit and you have watched all the video of that particular week. So, before completing the learning or before completing the learning component or content which is provided to you, do not try to attempt the quiz, because it may be waste of time or it may not be possible to you to answer all those questions, because the questions are based on the learning content which is provided in the week. So, complete that particular, then only you go through the quiz and attempt all the questions of check your progress in the unit provided. That also will provide you a good learning opportunity and to test that how much you have learned out of it, and share your experience to peer group. It is very important as a responsible citizen or as a responsible team member of this particular course or as a responsible learner. It is your moral duty to share your experience with others, so that others also can gain benefit out of it. Not only they will gain, in that process others also will be getting motivated and they also will be sharing their experiences. In this whole process, we all will be beneficiary and we all will be learning much more than what we can learn as an individual. So, try to be a team member, try to be one attentive learner and try to be a regular learner. Definitely you will learn and you will meet the objective of this particular course, and you will be aware about so many aspects associated with umbrella term, that is ICT, and in next session I will be discussing about what actually ICT is. ICT is obviously, if we see, it is almost everywhere in our life. There is nothing which is left in our life which is untouched from the ICT. So, ICT is part and parcel of our life. So, this course of CIT-1 provide us opportunity to get exposure to ICT and to be ready for the future to utilize the ICT and gain benefit in our plan. So, with this I thank you and I wish you all the best for pursuing this particular course.